Oh boy, Puss World 3. This is, I had a hell of a time with this one. I mean, you can probably tell from the video length. Yeah, this is the world that took me the longest to get through. And on top of that, I think this also might be the first not safe for work episode of Puss. I mean, I say that with uncertainty because, hey, I'm playing Puss, so nothing is as it seems and all that. Oh, wait until I get to the boss and you'll see what I'm talking about. So the real thing is that this world has a lot of fairly difficult levels, but also an extremely difficult boss that takes a long time to fight. But even before you get there, you get areas like this where go slow or go extremely fast or you're dead because you just have parts of the level that jump out and kill you. The most obnoxious traps. And this one down here, go fast at the end or do it all over again. Oof. And really, you do want as many lives as possible to be able to pass this. Hey baby, that's the Overworld. Represented by the symbol for the sun, I believe. Which, still completely pointless trivia, but interesting nonetheless. I don't know, I like keeping track of it. Oh, I also did say this is the first not safe for work, but at the same time I did have it pointed out in the last episode that the mothership was not as much of an arbitrary assortment of stuff as I might have thought initially. It was pointed out that it was actually a womb, and that the thing I thought were tentacles were ovaries. Which, you know, you think about it for 5 seconds and you're like, oh my god, I'm still playing Puss. But also, right, it is called the Mothership. Well, I mean, it had the Mothership on it. I don't know, for all I know, its official name is Puss_Boss_2. That's the sort of game I'm playing here. Well, it's abstract enough to get by the censors. Let's just go with that. Oh, boy. Ooh, this is a fun level. I mean, first off, it's fun because it's nice and easy, so it's a good way to get a few lives, keep up your streak and all that. But also, if you let the sound go on for too long, the music in the background actually gets super distorted and obnoxious, so that's great. The Japanese on the right side of that stage was yowai, means weak, as in not strong, but weak. Oh boy. You know, I've been thinking about this game, like, in general, because this is an interesting type of game. Obviously, it is like, stylistically designed to be extremely obnoxious. And, like, horrible in music and style and everything like that. But at the same time, I've seen a lot of games like this that are also not fun to play. But at the same time, I've actually genuinely... Oh, God. Well, and this is a good time to get into it, because this level's very long. Takes a long time to get through. Patience is your enemy in here. But yeah, there are a lot of, like, surreal, weird games, even ones that try to take, like, the whole vaporwave art style and everything like that, that are just not good. But I actually genuinely like this game. I had a fun time playing it. Oh, and there's the Chronicorn power-up, if you're wondering what fresh hell it was going to bring to the game. And there you go. The colors. I think that the difference is that this is actually, at its core, Puss is not a bad game. I mean, it takes some obvious liberties with what you would normally consider to be good art and sound and consistent a lot of stuff, but it's like, as a game, it actually plays pretty well. I mean, not only is there like a good sense of progression and feedback on how you're doing, a lot of interesting stuff going on screen, you actually feel like you are making progress when you play the game. I mean, for example, you complete worlds, there are bosses that are always interesting, if, like, sometimes annoying to actually play. There's, you know, power-ups that you get and everything like that. Like, this is... Even down to the nitty-gritty mechanics. the way you control the character is not just, you touch the wall and then you're instantly done. You do get that sort of leeway where the screen goes all staticky. And it's actually designed in a way that it's supposed to be difficult, but possible if you know what you're doing to get out of what would otherwise be a fatal situation. The fact that the core of this game is good, I think, is the difference, because there's a lot of times where you see like throwbacks, old grindhouse movies. Like Quentin Tarantino might be giving Puss a little bit too much praise here, but you know, he likes using a lot of the old pulpy, like, sort of tropes with movies. But he's also an excellent filmmaker, so that when you see, you know, sort of a cheap or cheesy type of usage of like grindhouse staples in his films, it's like it's more enjoyable than a grindhouse movie, which, you know, was traditionally, once we got you in the seats, you know, who cares about the actual movie? Just have people talking on telephones or wandering around in the woods for 2 hours. It's important that if you want to go super crazy like this, don't expect to sell your game entirely on the fact that it is super crazy. You gotta have like a quality game even aside from that. Even like you got like a consistent theme of vaporwave and cats here to kind of like give it a core that you build the game around. All right, here we go. The boss. Oh, and this is a fun one too. Just drink in this upcoming cutscene, because there's a lot to process.
Watch out. Here he comes.
Who are you? Name yourself. You show no respect. Why did you come here? Coming into my world without permission was a huge mistake. And now you shall pay for it.
Yep. Yep. Meet the best creation. It is the boss. And yes, it is the statue of David. Now, if you don't understand what the reference is supposed to be, one of the most famous vaporwave albums, Macintosh Plus's Floral Shop, is had the cover very prominently featured a bust of David on it. So the fact that you have David as a boss here is just, yep. It's just almost a foregone conclusion. Team Coil knew exactly what they were doing, and it's it's honestly kind of great. I love it. But anyway, the actual fight against the best creation. Obviously, he shoots a bunch of bullets at you. Something like this is actually somewhat difficult to dodge, but the other ones, as long as you can find something of a safe position or just kind of stagger your hits enough. God, this attack. By the way, yes, that is Dong hanging out. But yeah, like this attack, you can actually just stand still and dodge each one of those shots. At least at this point of the fight. No, the real part of the fight, though, other than dodging stuff, is that you have to get his hands to hit each one of these switches. It's honestly kind of worth sacrificing a life to let him hit one of those switches, because it's so difficult to dodge the homing shots. At the same time, you're also trying to stay on a switch to bait the hands into hitting it. At least that's what I started to do later in the run. Yeah, just slow. Take it nice and slow when he starts doing this shot. But anyway, you saw it earlier. You get sent to kind of like a parallel dimension where you're not supposed to hit the red switches, which I accidentally did. You're supposed to hit the green ones. And then something happens. Let's go with that. Yep, get right in the middle there. Then it's almost more of a traditional stage in the way it works here. Your time, you have David in the the best creation in the background, and your time limit is represented by 1, the background wigging out a lot, and 2, the little square in the middle where you initially spawned is, as soon as that kind of becomes fully bright red, you're kicked out. Also, if you... Yep. Yeah, it's a Cerberus fight, but also, like... Man, I don't know. If you hit one of the red squares in the alternate dimension, you're also sent immediately out. Now here's the other gimmick. Yeah, that's right, there's more. Now that part of his face is hella broken, he can't actually shoot out of his left eye very well, so only one of his eyes is able to, like, shoot properly. Except for this attack. This is as per normal. Yep, and you might remember that when he, shot you from a distance, you could easily stand still to dodge all those shots. Yep, now one of them is going to be a lot more questionable exactly how it works. Unless you can finish up this fight fast enough. It's a really difficult fight. There's a lot of phases to it and a lot of stuff going on. And also a lot of parts where he's just straight up invincible, so... And, you're also dependent on RNG for exactly which one of these squares is lighting up green and which one is lighting up red. Oh, I'm so close, though. I just need the one more. And depending on how fast you click, you can either 2-cycle or, more commonly, 3-cycle the boss. However, here, I think I actually managed to get the 2-cycle. And yes, at that point in time, both of his eyes are kind of messed up, and it becomes even more questionable.
I am the best creation of humanity. I was supposed to become a new form of life. A new race. A new god. Tell me, how could this happen?
I am grateful to you for saving me. Please let me serve you for my whole life. Thank you, my master.
Yeah, you are still Cat. It's like, how are you going to answer that? Oh, and also Icarus. I have no idea what Icarus does. Straight up. He says, like, let me strike at your enemies?
My master.
So, like, maybe that means that he's supposed to...
My life is yours.
Attack boss? I have no idea how you actually do with him. Use me when it's time.
Master, use me to
I don't know. Anyway, let's check out the other various levels, because it took me so many tries to do this. I've got quite a few extra ones here. To the point that actually the subsequent episodes are going to be a little bereft of the back half of this, because I saw so many levels when I was doing this. Wait, did I actually show this one already? I'm trying to think here. I'm trying not to repeat myself, but it's also kind of hard to remember because I spent so long in this level. If I showed this one like in the last episode or something. Ah, good times. Anyway, yeah, you just wait in the little divots and then get out when you can. Once you get to this point, it's pretty much home free unless you screw up the last bit like I do constantly. That's how it goes. Bam. Oh god, this level. I have not been able to pass this level. This is an unsuccessful go at this level because that's how bad I was at doing it. Now and you also notice I got over 20 lives, or well, 19 lives, and then the invincibility shield when I first started this. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just bad at this one. Even with Chronicorn's blessing up there, it's just nothing doing. Doesn't seem like it would be all that difficult, but just, I don't know. I got no excuse. Yeah, so there, that's just cut that one off right there. You don't want to see me lose all 19 lives on that level. Shrimp. Also, this is kind of a weird way, probably a weird thing to appear in this video. The sound changes, and also lasers activate. The lasers are the really difficult part of doing this. Yeah, this is kind of a weird level to put in here thematically, because one of the later worlds, let's just say, it would work a little bit better in. Chronicorn's Blessing also probably would help a lot if I didn't get it when I wasn't already pretty much done with this level. Yeah. I mean, those lasers, the lasers, I mean, you just loop around the shrimp to kind of get around that. But also, this was totally the wrong way to go. I'm obviously getting completely blocked off there. Yeah, the music just sounds like it's some guy going, ah. Or it's a goat? I don't know. Hey, baby, you're playing PUSS. You don't know what's going to be going on. I'll just say that. And finish it up right here. One of the smoother ones I've had with that. Oof. This is a difficult-ish level. I mean, it's really not too bad, but kind of timing the waves, I suppose you could call those, can be a little bit tricky. Oh, the Japanese on the top says era. Like era, I guess. Loan word, English loan word in that way, in all likelihood. I can actually just look this up. Here. That's one of the nice things about doing this post-commentary. Although I also don't want to move my keyboard, lest I were to accidentally jostle my microphone here. Oh, error. It means error. Error. Like an error message. Alright, never mind. I thought it was era, like an era. So yeah, I suppose that's also kind of thematically appropriate to the game as well. How about that? Still a loan word, though. I got that. It's written in katakana. Oh, and of course, as I'm talking about this, DaVinci crashed. So, you know, cool. Well, hey, unlike with Celeste, where it was crashing every single episode that I tried to record, at least when it crashes here, it's in a thematically appropriate place. Surprisingly simple level, this one. I don't know, just a lot of the other ones, there were a lot of more stuff going on. This one just seems simple. Straightforward. Usually you expect like something crazy to happen after that, and not me dying. That was an accident. But hey man, sometimes the most shocking thing is when nothing happens. One of the basic starting areas. This one is pretty easy to do. And bam, there you're done. Oh yeah. This one not too bad at all. You can see it's Overworld 1, so usually they kind of throw you the softballs during those levels. And yet I still screwed it up anyway. Well, that's PUSS for you. Oh yeah, and the little skin that I'm using this time for the cat is a cute little orange one. Little tabby cat. I like that one. There are a ton of those things, and I feel like I should have been using those a bit more, like switching them out, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know which episodes are actually, which runs are actually going to make it into the video and which ones aren't. I mean, past this point, it is actually only 1 or 2 tries to complete the other 2 worlds, because it's just, the best creation was just that difficult, so can't really blame me for not knowing exactly how it was gonna go. gore level. Not too difficult. Ah, this one. I think I actually meant to put it in the previous episode, but I didn't. Whoops, my bad. Because it's a pretty difficult one, and I tend to die a lot, so that requires a lot more editing. But hey, I got it in here now. I like the track for this one in particular, and the ridiculous GIF fire going on in the background. Don't know what the Russian up there is. All I know is that it's Cyrillic. Yep, Elder Cat, take me out of here. I mean, I have, like I said, I have... Oh, right, this is the one that gave me the 4 lives. At least you get to see his animation for when he leaves. That's cool. Disappears in a portal. Yeah, 4 lives is too much. I would rather just die than go into the boss fight with 5 lives. And surprisingly enough, I managed to make it there. Ooh, this is another fun level. Mostly because you see that bit in the middle? Yes, something special does happen when you get there. Provided that I don't just run to the wall immediately like I've been doing this entire episode. Yep. And if you just wait for it to go back down, it just freezes in place there. Nah, it's a straight path, so it's pretty easy to go up there fairly quick, but it's also, like, still annoying. Oh, look at those pro moves there. Nailed it. Alright, and last bit of the episode, alternate cutscene ending.